what happened. Still, it's opening. This is the Pycharm that is going to launch. So the precondition is first you install Python and then you install Pycharm. Once Pycharm opens up, we'll create a simple project, and in the project we start creating whatever Python scripts we are going to learn. See, generally we have two types of languages. One is called as a scripting language and other one is called as a programming language. Shell, you say Shell is a scripting language, Perl scripting language. You say Java is a programming language, C# is a programming language. What is the difference? Scripting language and Python.
Scripting is mostly for automation and small things, and programming, you can write a whole range of applications on that.
Okay, then what is Python? Is Python a scripting language or a programming language?
It can work as a both.
It is both. It is both. That's the reason why when you search on Google, some people refer to Python as a programming language and some people refer to it as a scripting language. I'll tell you what is the difference. Earlier, the definitions were slightly different. When people, there are two types of program, there are two types in which scripting happens. One is compiler based and other one is called as interpreter based. Compiler based, your Java, your C or .NET, whenever you create a program and you compile it, it creates an object file. In a Java program, it's called as a .class file. That's the compiled version of the file. This .class file will be later executed. You will get an exe file. This is the process in which it happens for compiler based technologies. You create a program. The first step you do is compile it, and after compiling only the program gets executed. Whereas in the case of interpreter based, there is no intermediate layer called as compilation. The interpreter reads the code line by line and that code directly gets executed. So these kind of technologies where line by line it takes the code and it executes it, that is called as a interpreter based. So Python, technically speaking, is a interpreter based language. So it's called a scripting language. It's not a programming language. But why are people nowadays calling it as a programming language? Because it supports all the high level programming features like object oriented programming. In object oriented programming like Java and .NET, we have certain features called encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction. I'll try to talk about that as we go with the sessions. Those high level programming features which are generally available only in object oriented programming languages, that is possible in Python. So due to that reason, people try to call it as a both scripting language and programming language. These are just definitions. You don't need to worry about that. Now once Pycharm opens up, how do you create a project? All you have to do is click on file and click on new project. The Pycharm that comes on your screen will be in black color. I changed the color, so don't worry about the colors. You give some name for it. I will call this as new Python. New Python 1. This is the name I am giving for my project. Don't I have Python here? Okay, fine. It seems already new Python 1 is there. Fine, I'll call this project as new Python 1.2. Click on create. I want to open a new window. So a Python project is getting created where I can start running all the Python programs that I'm going to teach you now. Okay, so the Python project got created. Here I want to create a program. Same thing, you right click on the project that you have created. The name of the project is new Python 1.2. Just right click anywhere on that project and click on new and click on which file? Python file. Finish. Give some name for the file, whatever you want. I'll call it as sample. Click on OK. So with this is the interface where you create the Python program. Whatever Python code we'll be learning, you can create it over here. Now, as some of our students were already saying, Python does not have any beginning. There is no ending. There is no syntactical feature which says that generally programming languages start with flower brackets, end with flower brackets. All those conventions are not followed. You just start it wherever you want, end it wherever you want, still it will work. So the statement print is a statement in Python which is used for displaying something on the screen. I'll simply say hello and I would like to print Python. Now, once the program is created, how do you run the program? Just right click anywhere in this console. Okay, and sorry, right click anywhere and you have an option called run sample. Click on that run sample and the program is executed. Where will you find the output? The output will be generated in this bottom section, which is known as the console. Console is just the location where temporarily the output of your program will be generated. So what we have seen is print is a statement in Python for printing something on the screen, and there is no beginning, there is no ending. You just give the instruction and automatically that is getting executed. Okay, whatever you are trying to print, just ensure that it should be given in double quotations. That's it. Or Python 3 takes double quotations and single quotations in the same way. You can give whichever you want. I could already I can also give like this. If I want, I can just give single quotations. So now you will see that hello Python, and it will also print how are you. So whatever statement we are trying to print, just ensure that that statement should be either in single quotations or it should be in double quotations. But if you want to, if your statement itself is having a single quotation, then how will you handle? You are understanding what I'm saying? What you are trying to print, that statement itself is having a single quotation. See, I'll say this is the statement. Let's go to cinema. This is the message. Now I just want in cinema na భలే క్రియేటివిటీ ఉంటుందా మీకు స్పాంటేనియస్ అంటారు దాన్ని చూడండి. So just watch. When I say let's go to a cinema and when I try to run the program, it will fail. What is the reason? Yes, it does not understand. You see, the program has failed. The reason is it is thinking that this is the end of the statement. Now, in this kind of scenario, it's compulsory that you should start it with a double quotation and end it with a double quotation. Now it will print in a proper way as we are expecting. So please see, you're understanding. Okay, so that's it's as simple as that. In the statement, if you are trying to put double quotations, ensure that it starts with single quotation and ends with double quotation. In the statement, if you are using single quotation, you ensure that it starts with double and ends with double. Okay, for example, let's take one more scenario. దీన్ని ఏమంటారు? చిన్నప్పుడు చదువుకున్నాం యాక్టివ్ స్పీచ్ గుర్తున్నాయా? డైరెక్ట్ స్పీచ్, ఇండైరెక్ట్ స్పీచ్. Okay, this is something in direct speech. Now you see, he said we'll go for lunch. We want this double quotations to be printed. అలాంటప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాము? You start it with single quotations and end it with single quotations. So I'll just start it over here, then it will work because you have your understanding. But if you have a statement where in between you have single quotation and double quotation, అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు? లోపల సింగిల్ ఉన్నాయి, డబుల్ ఉన్నాయి, అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాం? See, ఇది నా రిక్వైర్మెంట్. He said